Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here for episode 17 of the Bagcast. I'm, of course, joined here by Mr. Casey, and I'm Gregor Guy, depending upon how you know me. This particular week, let me back up a little bit. I was sick a few weeks ago.
Right.
It was a terrible, terrible, terrible situation that, needless to say that I was in the bathroom for an extended amount of time.
Okay.
And with all the toilet paper wipings that happened, it got to a point where I had to sit on my side for about 2 days. I couldn't sit upright. It was an evil experience. Now, I want to. Well, first of all, let me go ahead and ask you: have you ever had an experience like that? Like, just where you wiped your asshole raw so many fucking times and then had to keep doing it over and over and over and over again?
No. I have sat on a, I don't know if this happened to you before, but I have sat on a toilet so long that the whole area was uncomfortable just for walking around or sitting or anything like that. I don't know if that's ever happened to you before. I guess not. I guess that's just a me thing.
Well, I mean...
like you pull a muscle.
Oh, so you actually physically injured yourself, like,
yes.
Like internally. I haven't experienced that yet.
Right.
Woo! Yeah, that seems like a whole different level.
It takes like it took me like a couple hours to get over it. I was
a couple hours?
Yeah, I was very uncomfortable for.
I was expecting a couple of weeks, but
no, nothing that long. I mean, God forbid that happens, but.
Yes, but anyway, I went through about 6 rolls of toilet paper in probably 2.5 days.
Shoot, I don't go through that much toilet paper in friggin' 5 months.
I normally don't either, but okay. And bring it back.
Granted, half the time I do use the bathroom while I'm not at home anyway, so that is the reason why I don't use that much toilet paper.
Do you go out of your way to shit in someone else's bathroom?
No. I just go to the bathroom when I need to use the bathroom.
Fair enough. No, yeah, could have been. Could have been an interesting insight into the mind of Casey. But anyway, moving back to where I was going with this whole story that I'm sure no one out there really wants to hear. I actually, for the first time in my life, sat down and thought. I was like, this is so bad that I think I need to invest in a bidet.
I have a bidet. Yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Really?
I thought I told you I had a bidet.
No.
I bought a bidet 3 months ago, 4 months ago, something like that.
3-4 months ago?
Yeah.
3-4 months ago?
Yep.
Okay. I don't remember this kind of bidet. I mean, you might have, but how do you like it?
I like it.
Is it? Do you think that I would like it?
I think that anybody would like it. I mean, people might feel like it's an uncomfortable thing to have water squirted into that area, but I mean, just like anything, you get used to it, and quite frankly, you feel cleaner at the end.
Okay, yeah, I mean that's fair enough. But this is going to relate to the topic of conversation for episode 17 of the Bagcast. Devices, technologically or otherwise, that we never thought we would ever consider using or purchasing. So obviously the bidet was I'm telling you right now that That was so bad. Do you remember the text message I sent you that week?
No, I don't remember.
It basically said, "Don't come over, I'm sick." No, but it was like, "Fucking don't come over, I'm fucking sick."
Right.
It was something along that effect, and you were like, "Okay." But
excuse me.
I did not tell you that I went through like that much toilet paper over the course of about 2.5 days. It was ugly. It was evil, and I'm still what's the word? Scarred by the experience.
Right.
So I'm looking into alternative ways to correct the whole. What's a good way to say that?
I'm going to conserve
wiping experience.
I'm going to conserve all my my pooping stories for the bowel movement episode.
Okay.
I wonder how many hits the bowel movement episode.
So well, on top of that, I haven't actually purchased one yet. I mean, just full disclosure, haven't yet. We're about 2 weeks out from that particular incident, maybe 2.5, something like that.
Mine was only like $30. It's not that expensive. It taps directly into the.
Well, I mean, how? And this is something. I mean, obviously, I've done a little bit of research, but I haven't done a whole lot. I mean, I believe the water comes into the toilet tank, or comes from the toilet tank.
It comes from the source that goes into the toilet tank. At least mine does. I'm sure there's different kinds, but mine. I had to turn the water off, hook it up to the line that goes into the toilet that fills the toilet. It basically it's just a T, and it tees off, and then it goes into the bidet.
Okay, and just for clarification, also, I mean this is obviously only for my personal sanity reasons. What do you think the water pressure is coming out of that thing?
I mean, it's pretty good. If I turn it on, if I don't have anything in front of the toilet when I turn it on, it'll spray across the room.
Okay. Fair. Okay. Well.
I guess more or less it depends on the water pressure in your house.
Yeah. Okay. And you have this town city water.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Me with the well, it'd probably be a little less, so it'd probably be a little more forgiving, I would say.
But it works kind of like a hose does, like where it kind of makes the hole smaller, where it shoots out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay.
All right. I don't know.
That's just an interesting way to say it. But, okay. You, having experience with the device,
right?
Would you recommend it?
Yeah, I recommend it.
You think it'd be a good investment?
I mean, I prefer to poop in my own house just because I have it.
There you go. You heard it here first.
Yeah, are we sure this isn't the bowel movement episode? I'm gonna put this poop head on the whole rest of the episode.
No. It is not the bowel movement episode. But now, what we are going to talk about is, like I said, devices, technologically or other that we thought we'd never own, that we probably will at some point in time own. So,
well,
you got anything?
I thought we were talking about things that we didn't think that we'd own, but we do own.
Well, okay, yes. Well, everything else on my list except for one thing is something that I didn't think I would own that now I do own. But so,
well, let's start with the number one thing that everybody has and everybody uses. Did you imagine that you would have a computer?
I think you're missing the point.
Right.
Something that was already out. Like, I've known what a bidet
All right. Well,
is.
give me your first thing. Because I thought we were doing technologies that we didn't think that we would own.
Well, that would be a technology that we never thought would be created.
Well, that's what made it easy for me. Now it's hard because I didn't completely understand the subject matter.
I thought I explained it pretty well the other night. But...
So let's give you your first one, and I'll think of something.
Okay, first one would be electric battery powered tools for me.
You didn't think you would own it, even if you knew
I knew they were out there. I knew they had like battery powered drills and shit. But I was always an air pressure guy.
But you didn't think they'd be as strong as they would be.
Yeah, and that's what kind of tilted the scales.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Look, the technology was out there. I never thought I would buy one.
Right.
Now I own a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah. I mean, those tools are amazing, to be honest. I mean,
shout out Milwaukee. You want to sponsor us?
It's just so much easier to get around with an electric impact than it is to find a hose,
right? But
hook it up, and I mean, it's nice when you have your own bay and you have everything right where you need it, especially with an airline and stuff like that. But if you're moving around a shop or you're going on the road or anywhere else, then electric is just the way to go. It is so much more convenient. I mean, it's not better. It's probably about even.
I don't think it's even, but I mean, this was my whole problem with it. Back in the day, it was the electric stuff just didn't seem as powerful as the air power. But obviously with technological advances and everything, now it's way much more on a. I still think air is more powerful.
Yeah.
But at the same point in time, electric it's getting pretty close.
Right.
Which is insane to even think about. They're putting so much juice in these batteries.
Right.
That you can replicate 120 psi of air just by no hose, no air compressor, no nothing. It's like I said, that's just the first example. So I mean, do you have anything along that line?
Whew, this is a little bit tough on the spot here.
No, he's lost.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of something that existed that I didn't think that I would use, but I am currently using. And generally speaking, most things when I see it, I've already made up my mind whether or not I'm going to use something, unless it becomes viable. For example, something that I would never use is like one of those speakers that sit in your house, like what is it? Like the different companies have. Amazon has one, and Apple has one.
Oh, you mean like the Alexas?
The Series and the Alexas. I will not put one of those in my house, and unless you can tell me that anything that is said by me does not thus go into the internet, so other people can spy and listen to what the things that I'm saying. So, regardless of whether or not they're inflammatory or anything of that nature, it is nobody's business what I say or do in my own home, and I do not want you to push products on me dependent upon what I say.
Well, yes, and the fact is that those particular products, I believe, I don't think the code is open sourced, so not really confirmed, but it uses an algorithm to pick up, keywords and try and sell you products and everything. But you can't literally, legitimately sit there and tell me that you believe the CEO of Amazon is listening
I don't think they're listening to me specifically. I think
it uses an algorithm.
I think they use an algorithm. They hear a product name or something's being spoken to, and then they try to sell you that product. Therefore, later, to be fair, I'm pretty sure a cell phone does the same exact thing.
Yeah, I would venture to agree with that.
But
What?
a cell phone offers so much more than an Alexa or a Siri or any of those things do.
As in, you can watch porn on your phone?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't watch porn on my phone ever because for many reasons, but
Such as?
I don't want to get into that. Anyways.
The search history is very nasty.
Now I kind of lost where I was going.
I'll tell you right now, it begins with Cleveland Steamer.
No, it does not. This is not the bowel movement episode.
Yeah, you're right. It's not. I'm sorry. We can cut that out. But let's go to behind the scenes.
Well, I mean, a cell phone offers the ability to call people. A cell phone offers you the ability to watch videos. I mean, more people use it for social media. I do not. I mean, obviously, this is the only social media that I use. It's just doing these videos with you and put it on the internet. That is pretty much my only contact with social media whatsoever.
Right. Do you even consider that you using social media, though? That's a good question. That's a deep question. I mean, obviously,
I use it.
You're putting yourself out there just like I do. So.
I mean, in a sense that, like, on Facebook, you are saying something and you're putting it out there and you're communicating with other people. Generally speaking, I do not communicate with other people. I mean,
does it play well with others? You heard it here first.
I basically, for the most part, I just I watch other people's videos on YouTube and Rumble and whatever site I feel like watching videos on, and I otherwise post. We post videos, and that's about it. That's my extent of communicating with people on social media.
Well, I'm glad you brought up the whole YouTube thing because the next one for me is cameras. Number one, you remember when we were in when we were growing up in high school and, basically up until the point in time that I was like 35, I refused to be photographed. Now, I will go ahead and expand on this to where we're at now with video equipment.
Right.
And also on top of that, as you already pointed out, YouTube. I never once in my life expected to just be throwing the shit out there like this. However, I will say that it does feel like a burden off my shoulders of, the stuff that I have to say. Now people know where my thought process comes from.
This is an outlet for you.
Yes. That's perfect. An outlet.
You feel like if people want to listen to you, they can.
That's right. And if you don't, whatever.
Yeah.
Don't care. Doesn't matter.
I mean, I never really considered, like, because you know me, and I'll say whatever I want to say whenever I want to say it, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing. And I've always been like that. I really don't feel the need. I don't feel the need for people to hear what I say. I feel the need to help people educate themselves or understand things better. And whether or not that regard comes from me or from somewhere else, it is dependent upon them. But I feel like a lot of people walk around ignorant about certain subjects, and they just feel that's the way it is. And whether, like I said, whether it's from me or from somebody else, I think it's important that they know and realize certain things. And I'm not a genius. I'm not super smart or anything like that by any means. I'm not a scientist. I mean, I do videos on history. I'm not a historian. But I like
it's
for
about-
people to open up their eyes and at least see things from maybe different perspectives.
And you brought up the history thing, and the whole point of doing history, financial, and STEM, which a lot of people don't understand, is because first of all we're trying to educate ourselves, and the stuff that we learn, we're trying to educate the masses with.
Right. And that's not saying we're always
So-
going to be right either.
That's true. It all depends on the source of the information.
And I try to look at different sources. I'm not going to say that I do.
I mean,
At
there's
this point,
so much fact checking that goes into those particular presentations that I don't even think people realize. It's not like we just see one thing and.
I have a full-time job. I generally put in maybe around maybe 2 to 3 hours on each of these presentations that we do and all the information that I collect. So I mean, if I had more time. If for example, that this takes off and I can put time into researching and getting better understanding and maybe even having somebody help me gather information, that would be a different story, and I would put a lot more time and effort into it, and you would probably get a higher quality amount of information. But as it sits right now, I'm putting 2 to 3 hours trying to collect enough information for like a 10-15 minute video and then giving it to you.
That's right. So if you enjoy our educational content, or even our more, this is more of a, philosophical, deep kind of Bangcast episode. But if you enjoy the history, STEM, financial, just remember to
like, subscribe,
forgot to share, and hit the bell button. It's all right. I threw a curveball on that one.
Right.
It's fair enough. Anyway, do you have one? Now that we talked about the whole.
I mean, I'm ready to talk about. I think where I pick up is going to be on technology that. I mean, obviously, I just said one technology that I'll never use. Technology that's around that I don't want to use.
Well, okay. So you're just holding for the end here.
Yeah, because I thought basically it was going to be about. I was just going to talk about how cell phones is something that I never thought I'd use. I mean, I seen them on TV, like giant bricks and stuff like that with antennas sticking out of them. Did I think I'd ever have one? No, I did not think I'd ever have. Even just a fucking brick phone that just talks to other people. I never thought I'd have that.
Oh well. Okay, well, that's... that is actually what I do think I told you on the phone the other night.
And then moving forward...
I meant, fundamentally you were like, no!
Right.
I mean, in my mind, I was like, fundamentally you were like, no! And then you're like, okay.
Right. And then I want to move forward. I can move forward with cell phones is that once they became little computers in your pocket, I still had a little flip phone or one of those phones that would slide, and all you'd use it for is talking and stuff like that.
Did
I ever think?
What were they? Motorola Razors, or
I had
have one of them.
I had a. It wasn't a Razor. It was like a. What I had was like a Nextel thing that my company gave me. That basically, I remember. You remember back then?
Yeah.
It was like a walkie-talkie more.
Yeah, it was
than
like
just like a.
Chirp, chirp.
Yeah, it was like a very long range walkie-talkie more than it was a freaking cell phone.
Nextel, man. Whatever happened to them?
I'm sure they're still around. I'm pretty sure Verizon owns them, or at least bought them out.
Fair enough. All right, another one for me will be drums.
You never thought you were going to use drums?
I never thought I would ever play a musical instrument. Now, okay, let me preface this story by saying my parents, yeah, I'm talking to you, were huge on me playing the piano when I was 5 fucking years old.
Mm-hmm. Now, why is
Did
that?
not like.
Why is
did
it
not
that
like playing the piano.
Why do you think they wanted you to play the piano?
I don't.
Well, let me. At least in the past.
Actually, wait, hold on. I can tell you exactly where my dad was coming from.
Okay.
He wanted me to be the keyboard player in his band.
Okay.
100%.
So that his plan was to make a keyboard player, so that you could be in the band.
Yeah, because he tried it with my brother first. Didn't work. Guess what? Didn't work for me either.
My thinking behind it, I'll probably be wrong about this, was that most people, at least in the older days, they learn music starting with a piano. Because pianos were, generally speaking, I mean,
Yeah.
even,
I can see that.
even my family, my mom played the organ and kids like that, and they learned how to read sheet music and other things through the piano and the organ.
Either way, I don't know what.
I feel like a piano and a keyboard is like a starter instrument for people to learn music and understand music and find talent through music.
I can see that. Okay.
Right.
Anyway.
Now, I don't know if that's right.
Fast forward 20 years.
Right.
This was when I was like 5, 6, right? So now I'm 25, 26. I'm just like, you know what? I'm bored. I need a hobby. Call up the old man. Hey, old man. You know, we're having a conversation one day. And he was like, man, I got to do something with this drum set. I ain't got nowhere to keep it. I was like, well, just bring it over to the house and keep it over here.
Right.
So he brought it over, and, you know, we stored it down in the basement for probably like 3 months before I even set it up.
Right.
Then I set it up. Yeah, I was like, you know what, let's just set it up and have some fun with it.
Do you think it was his goal to just bring it over here knowing that you at some point were going to
No, I'm pretty sure he just used me for storage.
Okay.
I'm 100% positive. He just used me for storage.
Right.
But I mean, yeah, I started getting into it. And this was like right about the time, like Rock Band and everything was getting big.
Yeah.
And that was always a good time. You know, you sit around, get all fucked up.
There's a way to be social too. Rock Band was a good way to be social, especially when you had friends over or stuff like that.
Right, exactly. You know, I mean,
It gives you
Guitar
something to do
Hero
with fun.
started that shit.
Right.
Realistically. I mean, shit, they made a fucking South Park episode about Guitar Hero, so.
Yeah.
Enough said.
I never found Guitar Hero to be as nearly as fun as Rock Band was, because there was different instruments that you could play together.
Yeah, on top of that, I never liked playing the guitar.
I wasn't super big fan of playing the guitar on those games either.
Yeah.
I would I would sing badly and I would play the drums badly.
Who's the best Rock Band drummer you ever seen?
I mean, in person, probably you. I mean,
I don't know how that would.
yeah, I don't know. I don't even know what we're talking about anymore.
Technology. And technology that we never thought we would use.
Right.
Okay, moving on to the next one. Obviously, this will be a staple for me, probably moving forward. But when I first heard about crypto and cryptocurrency, I was like, I don't know about that. Sounds like a scam. Sounds like a scam.
Yeah, obviously I'm the same way about that.
Now, okay, I will go ahead and say, I think the first time I heard about Bitcoin was probably like 2016, 2017. So right about like 5 years ago. And I'm going to be honest, I never expected the global, I mean, this is obviously my personal opinion, I never expected the global economies and fiat currency to get degraded to the point where they're claiming 8% inflation, but I mean, realistically, let's be honest, it's about 25%. Yeah, and you know, what do you do to, combat that. You
Right.
get rid of your fiat currency.
So what I thought with Bitcoin, I thought it was going to become like a pirate currency in general, and I thought anybody that was using it or collecting it was at some point going to be have it either stripped away and the creators be arrested. That's honestly what I thought.
So you basically thought it was going to be a scam.
A scam? No, I think a way to subvert taxes and basic government control, which in some form or another is. I thought it was going to become an illegal currency, and I thought it was going to be taken away from people, and I thought people were going to be put in jail for creating it. That is what I thought was going to happen.
Okay, well, I mean, that's kind of a similar camp to where I was at. I was like, there's no way this shit's real. You
Right.
know, it's what I told myself. And then you watch obviously the pandemic and everything happens, and people can't do anything. So what are you gonna do? How are you gonna make money?
Right.
I mean, are you gonna collect your stimulus check, which obviously wasn't that much?
To be fair, if they did not have any stimulus check whatsoever, I believe society would have broken down almost completely. Because you're not allowing people to work.
No. I wouldn't say they would have broken down. They would have relaxed the restrictions as far as working a lot sooner.
I believe there would have been far more crime.
Oh yeah. I mean,
And that is basically the kind of way that. And then when people get more comfortable committing crimes, they just continue to commit crimes. Further breaking down society.
smart criminals. There you go. You heard it here first.
I didn't say they were smart.
Seemed like what you were alluding to.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, some of them are going to be smart and some of them are going to be stupid. They're just a breakdown of society, just like everything else.
Fair enough. All right, the final one I have before we move on to our final topic, which you actually said you might have some insight into, would be airplanes. When I was between the age of probably like 10. And I'll even go up to the age of 22, 23. I was like, I'm never getting on a fucking airplane. Ain't no way. There's no way that thing can fucking safely transport you from one area to another. Yeah, I mean, obviously, young mind, not attuned to, how the world actually works and everything, so on and so forth, whatnot. I'm like, something's bad going to happen. No. I'm telling you, right here, right now, I will not drive more than 2 hours to get somewhere.
See,
I will spend 4 hours in the airport before I drive 2 hours.
I never thought that because, well, generally speaking, I was 6 months old the first time I took my first flight because my family moved from Fort Hood, Texas to Germany.
The first flight I took was when I was 5, I think. I believe 5.
Right. Where do you go?
We went to Orlando, Florida. Our dad took us to me and my brother to Universal and Disney, and we stayed in this awesome banging ass hotel that had Double Dragon down in the fucking arcade room.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Oh my god.
My first Double Dragon was playing on a Nintendo. The original.
Yeah, no. This was like an arcade. This was before Nintendo. This was like 1985, probably.
I got you.
Was it 1986 maybe? Don't.
You're probably around that because if you're saying you were 5.
Like I'm 40-something years old, man. I remember bits and pieces.
Right.
But yeah, I never thought, that oddly enough on that flight we there was because it was right about the beginning of January that we went down there. Now, we had a connecting flight in Atlanta.
Right.
And we had to stay in Atlanta overnight because there was a fucking snowstorm or something.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't terrible. We just, like, laid out and slept in our bags. Just, like, fucking camping in a fucking airport.
So prior to being 5 years old, you thought that you would never be able to get on a plane, or is that...
No. This happened later. And it wasn't even because of that experience. That was the first time I flew. I didn't, get on a plane again until I want to say I was, like, 24 or 25, maybe.
Right.
But, yeah, I mean, either way, that's kind of unrelated. The fact is that I started looking at the actual plane. And I started to realize, I was like, how in the fuck does this thing stay in the air?
Right.
I'm like,
because you didn't understand it.
There's no way. I'm like,
Right.
There's just no way. I mean, you would make a paper airplane, right, and throw it, and it would just go, pop. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, okay, this can't be good.
Right. You never put a jet engine on a paper airplane, did you?
That's true. I wish I had that sort of technology back then. Jesus, if I was 10 and had the fucking capabilities of adding a jet engine to a paper airplane, sky's the limit. We'd probably be at Mars now.
Right.
So, yeah, airplanes was the one that, kind of screwed me up. It feels like, this entire episode is just me complaining. Honestly.
Hey, okay, so it's my turn to complain about something.
I mean, do you have something to complain about?
Let's talk about something that I am never going to use.
Okay.
A Roomba. I am never going to buy a Roomba. Those little things that fall around the room.
Have you ever actually owned one?
I have not owned one. I'm not going to buy one.
Okay.
What, are you going to buy me a Roomba?
No.
Okay.
No. That's future stuff.
Okay. So these little things. So how efficient can they? Do they map out the room so they make sure they hit every single? So am I going to have a portion of the room that didn't get vacuumed?
I can tell you that my mom has owned many Roombas.
Right.
She loves them.
Well, not to mention how much dirt could a Roomba possibly? It's like that friggin' big. You got a vacuum cleaner. It's got a bag about that big. Generally speaking, when I vacuum a house, the bag is like a quarter of the way full. So I mean, it doesn't seem efficient to me to buy this $100-$200 thing that floats around the room. Probably doesn't get all the dirt. It runs into furniture and could possibly get stuck.
I mean, technically, first of all, you're not going to get all the dirt because the thing is circular.
Right.
So you can't get it in the corners.
That's true. So now you got a clean room full of dirty corners.
I mean, granted, it probably gets 99.8% of the floor surface, I would assume.
Not to mention, I don't pay attention half the time when I'm walking anyways. If this thing's running around the room while I'm walking, the chances of me stepping on it are pretty high.
I can see that.
And then I either got a broken Roomba, a broken toe, or I slipped and fell down and hit my head.
All right. You got anything else you want to complain about?
No, I just wanted to complain about Roombas. I think they're
okay. Well, I'll go ahead and pivot this part into since you obviously have already started, but we will talk about future technologies that aren't out yet.
Okay.
That at this point in time we're just like no, but potentially, I mean, I could see myself, being swayed. However, the first one that comes to my mind is Neuralink.
Yeah, I'm not getting anything installed in
right.
That's
I'm not either right now. Like I said, and this is the point where we're just like no fucking way. Right. But
unless I go blind and they say that I'll be able to see again.
Right. So some stupid shit like that.
Or if I lose use of my arms and legs, and they say, hey, if we hook this technology up to you, you'll be able to move again. something like that for physical disabilities, I would
I
consider.
don't know.
But
It would have to. And see, my whole problem with this stuff, with the Neuralink and everything, would be it would have to be out for probably 25 years with positive results, which is why probably no chance in my lifetime that I am going to ever have one of these devices.
I think right at first, to be the first ones to do it, would probably
You got to be a lunatic.
Because first of all, you have to think about safety reasons. Secondly, I think your best bet is somewhere after that trial period where they've proven that they can transfer information to you. But as soon as they perfect the technology, it's going to become corrupted, and they're going to want. And there's powerful people out there that want to control the things that you say and do, and the information that you can take in.
Yeah, it's more or less like a read only versus write only.
And basically, I'm not saying that Neuralink can't work, but I'm saying I don't trust the corporations and the people in charge to do the right thing by it.
That's why I'm saying, there's not in my lifetime. No.
Right.
No.
Right. It's never happened.
No. I mean, they don't even have the prototype or anything out. So let's just say by some miracle they're able to extend my life another 36 years, and I'm 80,
Right.
80 something. Say Neuralink has been out for 40 years at this point in time. Yeah, it actually had good results. Guess what? If I'm 80 years old, I'm not getting a Neuralink implanted because I'm old as fuck.
Right. Not to mention the later you are in life, the weaker your body becomes, and
yeah, exactly. I mean, so there's no point in risking it. Is basically what I'm saying. I mean, that's got to be like a time frame kind of deal. It's
definitely not something. I'm not getting anything plugged into me that attaches to my brain. It's in the story.
Yeah. And like I said, that revolves around future tech. The tech is not there yet to even make a compelling argument.
Right.
I would say to do it.
And then again, they say that. You watch The Matrix, maybe we are already attached to the Neuralink.
Possible. But same point in time, Elon Musk, I ain't getting your new Neuralink, but you want me to go to Mars, hit me up.
Yep.
I'm down.
Depends on what kind of test subject you want to be.
The kind that doesn't live on this planet anymore.
Time to go.
Guy is the first man on Mars! Giggity!
Giggity. What are you fucking Mars now?
That's right.
You're gonna be the first man on the planet?
That is the largest quagmire you'll ever see in your entire life.
You're gonna land on the planet, you're gonna dig a hole and you're gonna stick your dick in it. And you're gonna be the first man to fuck Mars.
I'm the first man to fuck Mars! Won't be the last either. Fucking human race. Jesus Christ. So, anyway, alright, well, let's go ahead and bring this episode to a abrupt halt after talking about me fucking Mars. Seriously, though, Elon, hit me up. I'll go. I'll go right now.
Right.
Tired of this fucking. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, episode 17 of the Bangcast. I'm, of course, Gregor Guy, joined here by Casey. Ladies and gentlemen out there watching, enjoy the rest of your day.